So in terms of the definition of a trust, so under French law, a trust is any legal relation which have been set up under the legal system of a state other than France by a person who has the quality of a constituent or a settlor, either by an act inter vivos or a disposition upon death to place asset or right under the control of a trustee in the interest of one or more of the beneficiary or for the fulfillment of specified objective. So this is quite a broad definition, and we don't necessarily need to have a trust deed to have a trust in France. What we look at is really the relationship between the settlor, the trustee, and the beneficiaries. And so any charitable trust, discretionary trust, pension trust, family settlement, they all are treated as trust in France, but it can go beyond this. And I've seen cases where there was no longer a trust in the UK, for instance, because the trust was wound up, but because the trustee still held assets for the benefit of beneficiary, and they were still the legal owner of these assets, they will still be treated as trust in France. So again, the trust assets are deemed to be owned by the settlor or the BDS for French inheritance tax purposes. French IHT apply on lifetime gift and gift on death in three situations. Either the settlor or the BDS are French tax resident, in which case this apply on a worldwide basis, or they are not French tax resident, in which case this French IHT only apply on French assets. And finally, when there is a distribution to recipient who has been resident of France for 6 out of the last previous 10 years, then this is also subject to French inheritance tax. However, double tax convention apply as if the settlor and the BDS was effectively the owner of the trust assets. And in most double tax treaties that apply on death, on estates, the 6 out of the last 10 years rule is not applicable. And that's the case, for instance, in the UK and France double tax treaty. So when we have, say, a UK resident settlor or BDS and a French resident beneficiary, then we can ignore the 6 out of the last 10 years rule, in which case tax would only be due if there is a French asset which is being distributed.